Hey, everybody. My first impressions of Durres. Just arrived here a couple hours ago, so literally first impressions just getting here. Looks like this is that time of night where everybody comes out. You know, there's almost nobody out here earlier because, well, it was hot. Believe it or not, I guess it's something you can't complain about, really. I mean, it's late October, and it was too hot during the day. I mean, too hot being probably like 80 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's probably 80. I mean, you know, just a little too hot. Not too hot. I mean, I walked probably half a mile and didn't even really break much of a sweat. But I guess we would, but this is so much nicer, right? Just perfect weather for a light jacket, you know, feels great. Walk on the beach. So of course you get a first impression, you're on a beach. I mean, not a lot to complain about there, right? I mean, it's a beautiful beach. Got people walking around. You know, my room has a view of this sea, whichever sea this is. I'm sure I can put it on the cover there. But you do have oil tankers everywhere, which I'm kind of used to. You know, I lived on pretty much every beach along Southern California. So I know a good beach, and a lot of them have oil tankers right off the coast, if not oil, dikes or whatever the big things. But you can see this is a port city, and so that comes with the port city problems of probably, oil leaks here and there. You can hear, I'll let you see this, whatever this is here, all along. I mean, I can't say it's seaweed, though that would make the most sense. Yeah, it looks like it's a seagrass kind of thing here. But the rest of it's kind of sandy, which I guess is not super usual here in Albania. But, one of my favorite things to do is take my shoes off and walk along the beach. I wouldn't say this is the ideal for that. So since I'm going to all of the beaches around here, I'm going to be sort of picky because I'm looking for the right one for me. And so far, I wouldn't say this part is right for me. A few other things I recognize. There's literally right outside my window, and I'll show this. There's a dog chained up. And it's been there since I got here for 3 or 4 hours, so I'm guessing that it's there all the time, and that already makes me feel terrible that the dog is chained up all the time around me. Hopefully that's not the case. But on the other hand, it also barks anytime somebody gets near, which maybe for security reasons or not going to be really fun to live next to all the time. Again, this is a first impressions so I'm going to do way more videos about this, and I may completely change my mind. But even though this has a beach and it's very beautiful, and I'm absolutely a beach person, so far I really prefer Tirana. I just really enjoy that city. It is a little crowded. Even though it's only 1 million people, the traffic is insane. Well, it kind of reminds me of, LA or San Francisco, which is insane too. But the people there, I just really felt a bond, like immediately, and everybody just felt so happy and nice. And I don't get that same vibe here. a lot more families and whatnot. But at this point, you know, I'm just not getting that same vibe. It does feel a little dirtier. And this is to be expected, I guess, you know, port town, as I said. But here, these are some beach hotels. And I can really see that being pretty cool in the summer. Looks like they've imported the sand. It goes up all along here. And, you know, kind of Miami style hotels where you could have dancing on the beach. So it does feel kind of like that here. Like the beach in Miami or something. Kind of nice. These are the nicer ones that I've seen so far. But then that kind of ends, and then we get to a beach, which I'll show you in a minute. Not quite as nice. So you got this little area here, you know, a couple of football fields long. That seems pretty cool if you're looking for that kind of thing. And so if that's the right thing for you, and I'm sure it's very inexpensive. I mean, you can get ocean view apartment here for, you know, $200 to $300 a week. I mean, that's the price for a night, you know, in most of the places in the United States, if you're lucky for this type of thing. So I almost want to be walking the other way because I'm just showing you the port, whereas this is really the view here. Maybe I'll catch some more on the way back, but it's probably going to be dark by then. But again, it's my first impressions. We'll show you more of that on other days. So you see now we got over here. I see all the sand back there. I guess they're going to use it to fill in. I don't know when. Kind of ends right there. Interesting, huh? This is the off season, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just leave this here like this until at least spring. It's probably going to rain quite a bit in the next few weeks. So my impression gets a little better now because it's cooler and it's beautiful. When I came out earlier, I was just kind of like disappointed, to be honest. I was like, not sure I should have left Tirana. But I know it's going to become winter. I mean, it is winter. It's going to become even more winter here, which isn't much to complain about again, you know, for people that are on like the Midwest or something. But I figured being in Toronto was smarter because of just the infrastructure of the city. But I will be coming back out to the beach, whichever one I like the best, once spring hits. So I'm thinking March, April. So far though, what I would say is no on this one. We'll see what my next impressions are. Seeing a lot more what look like stray animals. I think some people have said they're not actually stray, that they're actually, people own them and feed them, but they're just allowed to go wherever they want, which, as an animal lover, I love that the animals are allowed to go wherever they want. But for my just hanging out for a beach vacation, stray dogs everywhere isn't really that appetizing either. Although some of them are kind of cute. They're not all just big dogs. Like say in Thailand, if you get out of the main areas, you're going to get a lot of dogs that may or may not be owned by anybody, but they can be a little scary. Not really seeing that here. The stray dogs seem to be pretty nice. Even saw a stray Pomeranian, which, you know, those go for like $5,000 in the United States. So this winds its way back out here onto the beach. So you can see nice places to just kind of hang out and have a drink, and look at the beautiful ocean. But once again, I'm just, when I walk the streets in Tirana, I just feel like I belong there. And I'm not saying I don't belong here. I don't feel a negative vibe. I just don't feel the really warmth, which is weird for a big city, that I feel warmth. And I'm imagining that most of the people coming here, or here, a lot of vacationers maybe, and so they're not from here. And maybe that's the difference. I mean, the taxi driver that took me here, he gave me a hug and, shook my hand and just was very, very, very warm. And that's the kind of thing that I really enjoy. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for my first impressions. We'll kind of check out the rest of this over this week and see how I feel in a bit. All right. Love y'all.